All right, everyone, welcome to the video. I'm going to be doing a little bit of analysis on the stock market. I'm going to be doing an analysis on Bitcoin, and we're going to be taking a look at some stocks as well. Of course, all of these stocks that I'm going to be taking a look at are based off of the requests that I've received from you on our Discord server. If you don't have access to our Discord, just throw a comment to the YouTube video. I'll be more than happy to get an invite code out to you. There's also a link in the video description for you to get access to our Discord server. Give me just a moment. I'm going to get started here in just a minute or two. I am getting the link out to our all of our channels so that everybody can get access to this. And there we are. There we have it. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. So things are going to look a little different than usual because I am not in my office this week. So we're going to be kind of taking things a little bit differently than usual. Basically, I'm going to be starting here in the S&P 500 as I usually do, and I'm going to be working my way over into Bitcoin. And I've got a lot of different stocks that I need to take a look at today. All of these stocks that I'm going to be going over are going to be from our insured area on the Discord server. So we're going to be taking a look at, let's see here. We're going to take a look at, starting with AI, we're going to take a look at IVZ, AFRM, ASTI, Workhorse, AMD, Fisker, Butterfly, XL. We're going to take a look at some crypto. We're going to look at Csiq, and we're going to take a look at Riot. And if I can get a few more in, I'll be more than happy to do that as well. So again, if there's something in particular that you want me to take a look at, just let me know in the comments. I'll be trying to keep an eye on that as we go through this. All right. So I want to take a look at the SPX. So I'm going to take a look at this on a 4-hour time frame, and I just want to talk about the importance of what we have seen so far. You know, I'm not married to this being you know, the wave 3. I didn't like the way this worked out, but you know, I'll tell you what I did see here that I did like. Was the fact that we had a nice big move up here, a nice 1, 2, potentially 3, 4, 5. So I'm now looking to this as potentially the finish, potentially the end of a move rather than this being the end. But one way or another, there's one thing that we can't deny. And we were talking about this several days ago. What we were talking about was the fact that we came down to the 618 perfectly. And then we had a nice move up from there. So this 4-hour candle was up 2.17%, followed by a little bit more green. And then we're pulling back a little bit. So I'm going to move myself down to an hourly time frame. And I just kind of want to dig into this a little bit because, you know, again, we were talking about this as it happened, right? We were talking about how this was a really good reaction off of this. We pulled back. All right. So we pulled back. So we had a nice steep correction right down to the 618. And you can see I've got my dominant pivot low here, my dominant pivot high up here, and we came down to the 618 perfectly. I mean, it couldn't have been any better. And so now we've got this pullback here. We're starting to get a little bit of a pullback, but what I actually think we're in the middle of right now, I don't think we're going to be violating this level right here. So this level right here at 38.61 is of extreme importance. I'm going to go down to a 15-minute time frame just to kind of show this to you guys. So first off, you can see we always look for corrections. I talk about this all the time. There's a correction there. I'm labeling it as an ABC just because that's, you know, that's easy, right? It could be a WXY. We have another correction right here. So we've got 3 waves here, 3 waves here. And I'm not going to go and try and dig too deep into this, but there are 2 scenarios here. The first scenario is that we've got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and then we're going to be going up for a 5. So this is our first scenario. I'm going to put it on a higher degree, and I'm going to label it green because this is our outcome that we want to see. For this to be valid, a couple things need to happen. First off, this pivot can't be violated. We can't violate that. If we're going to have a nice clean impulse off of this, we can't violate this guy. The other thing I'm going to take a look at here, I'm going to take this dominant pivot low right here, take it to that dominant pivot high, which is going to be right there. And where are we at? Okay, we didn't quite get to the 50. That would be pretty close. That'd be pretty close. If we did get a push down, one, it'll probably be in after hours. And two, this would be a great place to be buying, right? In my opinion, this would be a great place to be buying right here, 38.63. I don't know if we're going to get that. I don't know if we're going to get a move down there one way or another. This 618, this is our extreme level that is important for bullish confirmation. As long as we stay above this 618 or the 65 down here is inside of this golden zone, as long as we stay above that, I say things are still healthy. Yeah, we had a little bit of a pullback today. The day ended up a little red after yesterday was pretty green. Yesterday was really green, seeing as we closed all the way down here at 38.12, and then we opened all the way up here. We had a nice move up at 38.42, then it just continued moving up the rest of the day. Now we have a corrective day, okay? We talk a little bit about alternation. Everything alternates. So we had a nice big impulsive day, a nice green day, and then we have a corrective day. You had a big move up and a correction, a big move up and a correction, okay? This correction looks very similar to this correction. But now the question that everybody wants to know is, are we going to start moving up from here? Are we done correcting? Everybody's really, really tired, as I am, on this sideways movement, just this choppiness. One thing that you can see here, which is really quite interesting, is, so this SPX index, this doesn't show any overnight data. This shows bearish overnight, bullish intraday, bearish overnight, bullish intraday, bearish overnight, and then intraday was kind of like, you know what, maybe we're done. Extreme bearish overnight, then it ripped up. Okay, and it retraced, as we know. But it's just a very interesting pattern that we saw back here in February 16th through February 22nd. It's very interesting how we dropped overnight, we moved up. Usually it's the opposite. Usually what you will see is that from one day to the next, you have a move up. From one day to the next, you have a move up, right? Usually you see moves up in after hours. Right here, moved up. And then all of a sudden, it started doing the opposite. We started seeing downwards movement. Futures were very bearish. But right now, I actually think tomorrow we're probably going to be opening up green. And if you take a look at futures data, it is already showing that. We already see that we are starting to see this move up. And you can see right here, this is when we were talking. We were talking about this when the price was down here 38.19. I was like, okay, we'll put your stop loss on the other side of this low and you're going to be good to go. Okay, so we're still tracking this. And I'm taking equity positions based upon this hypothesis that we are going to continue moving up. But what's the count? What's the count here? Well, it's either going to be 1, 2, 3, but let's look at this. Let's just take a look at this for a moment. Starting down here at the bottom, moving up here to the top, taking this pullback, we didn't get there. We did not get there. So is this a 1, 2, 3? No, this is not a 1, 2, 3. Best case scenario, this is a 1, 2, 1, 2. In which case, it's okay if this gets violated. It's okay if that gets violated. Not a big deal. Because on a 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So that would mean this is not the 3. This can't be the 3. It didn't go up high enough, in my opinion. It didn't go up high enough for it to actually be a 3. But it absolutely could be a 1, 2, 1, 2, all right? So let's just put this 3, 4, 5. We'll put this over here. We'll throw it on the shelf for right now. We're just going to throw them up here on the shelf because the other alternative is that we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2. So let's just take a look at this guy starting down here at the bottom. Another 1, 2. Let's assume that we hit the bottom right there, although I do think that it is likely that we can see lower prices. All right, let's just pull this down and see where our 1618 to the 175 is. So the top of our 3 would be all the way up here. So wave 3 would be a break of 4,000. We've been waiting for that for a while. Are we going to finally get it? I mean, I'm not too enthused about it. I don't think that it's going to happen just quite yet. I think we're getting there. But this really has to be the count, right? So from here, we have to have another 1, 2, and then we do the 3, 4, 5. This would get us on a lesser degree, still keeping it green because this is our bullish count. So keeping it green, this has to be what we do. We've got to see a big move up. We have to see a big move up soon. So we get that 3, 4, and then we see another little 5 waves up to get that 5, which is going to finish wave 3. Okay, so this is our bullish case. I'm going to outline this guy in green as well, because this is what, again, what we want to see. We want to see this guy move it up. But what's our bearish alternative? Because we have to look at this with a bearish set of eyes as well. Okay, so let's just take a look at this. What if this is an ABC, ABC, right? If this isn't a 1, 2, 1, this could be an ABC. Let's just check this on the flip side. I'm going to move into the other chart over here. I'm going to fix that. All right, we're going to take this guy from right over here, and let's just see where we ended, moving from the very top up here. Okay, so we're going to take this guy from the top, and we're going to move him all the way down here to the bottom. And where are we at? So we almost hit that 786. Again, if we're going to take a look at this with bearish set of eyes, okay, we've got a nice big complex correction, A, B, C. All right, from there, if this isn't a 1, 2, 1, we've got another A, B, C. For the bearish alternative, this pivot has to hold. We can't see price action above this. And honestly, this was a really good area for a rejection because it was right at the 786. Are we going to keep bleeding? You know, it's possible. We always have to keep that in the back of our mind. All right. What's the downside target? 37.50. Somewhere between 37.25, 37.50. More than likely is where this is going to go. And we can take our trend-based fib extension tool, right? So we keep talking about the tools that we use. Top to the bottom, take that pullback, and I'm going to put the 618, the 100, okay, the 618, the 100, and the 123.6. First things first, that 100% equality from the first wave, we'll call it the wave A. Again, if this is from the top, an A, a B, if we go down for the C, if we go down to the C, then this is going to be 100% equality, which is right at the 236 extension, the negative 236 extension. It's right there at the bottom of this. Let me just increase the degree on this guy so we can see it. I'm going to label this guy red because this is what we don't want to see, but we have to keep in mind that this could happen. This could very well happen. This would mean that we're probably going to get stopped out some more on some of our positions that we're currently sitting in, but we know why. And knowing why is half the battle sometimes. Okay. So this is our bearish alternative. So we've got our bullish alternative, which I've got over here. This is our bullish alternative. Let me just put this into perspective. Bullish alternative right there, taking it up to above 4,000. Bearish alternative right here. Perfectly valid counts in both directions. So we have to monitor. What are our levels of invalidation? Well, really, for the bullish alternative, I don't want to see a violation of 3810. I don't want to see a violation of 3810. If I do, I would say that we're probably going to be flipping to the bearish alternative. For the bulls, if we get above 3915, then I say that we have the bullish alternative. So this is kind of where we're at. We're right in the middle of this, right? So we're right in the middle of all of this. And it's not easy to say with any amount of certainty which direction we're going to go, because right now, and the state of the market right now, we could really go either way. If you take a look at some of the volatility indexes, everything is very complacent. There is a lot of complacency in the market, and that is not good. That is not good. So it's possible that we could just drop. All right, guys, that's it on the S&P. All right, so I talked for way too long on the S&P 500. So let's go ahead and move into Bitcoin. So we've been talking and we've been monitoring this for so long, and actually the last couple hours have been pretty good. All right, we were talking about this just, I don't know, a couple hours ago. All right, let's take this from the top to the bottom, grab that pullback. Where did we go? We got down here to the 123.6, and we were not able to close a single half-hour candle below that. We were not able to close a single half-hour below the 123.6. We're on log scale. That's pretty good. That's pretty good if you ask me. On the hourly, let's go to the hourly here for a moment. Let's just, let's just do what I do because I love doing this. Look, we got a buy down here on this, all the way down here at the bottom. Yes, we had a buy right here as well. That could have been played. This one's the big one. And this is big because we had the 1 hour, the 3 hour, and the 12 hour all in oversold conditions all at the exact same time. And on Bitcoin in the year 2020 and 2021, that has been such a strong indication that you need to be buying. You need to be buying when you see that. Buy Bitcoin, buy some stronger alts, right? It has worked almost every time. In the last year, it has worked out really, really well. Since we had that major crash in March of 2020, every time this thing has gone into oversold conditions, just about, I'm not going to go into the past, but it has been so strong. Then we had our bullish cross right here. You can see the bright green candle. If you've got our indicator, you know what this means. And it's been doing great. It's been doing great. And again, just looking at the correction here, we didn't close below the 123.6. This is bullish. This is very bullish. Let's just take a look at this. Measure from the bottom to the top. Where did we land? We landed at the 382. Like this is a bullish area for a wave 2, right? If we are if we just finished the wave 2, which is possible that we did. So again, from down here at the bottom, we can count a nice little 1, 2, an extended 3, 4, 5, and inside of that, you could easily count a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm actually probably not counting that as well, but you get the idea what I'm trying to get across here. So I would say that that 3 is probably more best suited for right here. I'm not going to dig into lower time frames, but you've got a nice impulsive move up. And then you have a corrective move down, okay? I'm just gonna remove that. So we've got a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an ABC. And with the extension in the third that I believe that we have, I would expect there to be a shallow wave 2. Again, from the bottom here, wave 1, wave 2, and then we start moving up for 3, 4, 5, of course, on a higher degree. This looks pretty good, you guys. This looks really good. So where are we gonna land from here? Well, let's take our trend-based fib extension tool, measure from the bottom to the top here. We get our pullback. We're going to be looking for the 1618. We talk about this all the time. This should be like muscle memory for you guys at this point. So right there, 60,000. I mean, that's where this wants to go. And I mean, you can see this red box. I had that here before I started the video. That 175 is right in the thick of it, right? We're not going to go straight there. But man, this looks so good. This looks so good for a 1-2. And the price is just continuing to move up. It's continuing to move up. Are we going to sit here and chop for the next month? I doubt it. I'd say, I said right here, and I had this, about a month ago, at least a few weeks ago, late March to early April, we're going to have that big move up, right? So it is possible that we kind of move sideways here for a bit, but guys, we're going to move up. We're going to make a new high. We are going to make a new high. Everybody back here was like, we're going to go and we're going to hit that 42,000. And everybody wanted to get the 42,000 when you were able to buy down there at 43. Why didn't you buy at 43? We were like $20 away from $43,000. Okay. This still looks good. I have not changed this outlook in a long time. Ever since that we had the 618 pullback all the way back here, I was like, this is a great pullback. Once again, look, indicator said buy, indicator said buy, indicator said buy. It has worked almost every time. Back here, didn't work, but that 12-hour was still trending down. So naturally, that could not work. But this one, you got that 12-hour is heading down there. That was a good buy. Right here, the 12-hour was already starting to move up. It was a good buy. It's just been working really well. And of course, we had a little bit of a buy here, but back here, this was a stronger one. This was a stronger one, and it's worked really well. So for right now, my outlook on Bitcoin remains the same. It has not changed. We are going to go and make new highs. What would it take for me to change my mind on Bitcoin not making a new high? What would it take? Well, first off, we're inside of this, this channel here. And you may not see this as a channel, but I do. And let me just tell you why I see this as a channel. If we're going to move sideways, this is where we're going to move sideways inside of. And this is why I think so. So we have this low, we have this high. We had a raid of this high, we had a raid of this low. We went back to the median, another raid of the low. So if we're going to chop, we're going to make it up here to this high up here. And that's going to be where we reject, okay? A lot of times when you do an analysis on something, you tend to take a look at something as it looks today because you can't see the future. But one thing that I think that I could see is this. Get that 5 up here for that wave 1, then we come back for wave 2. I could absolutely see this. Another raid up here, we call this, checking for liquidity, right? We have a liquidity pool up here. We've got a liquidity pool down here. You've got supply up here. You've got demand down here. Call it whatever you want. Supply and demand, liquidity. There's demand down here in the mid 45s and lower, in the mid 40s, I should say, and lower. 40 to 45, lots of demand. Above 50, you're going to start running into supply. One of these is going to win at some point. That's how you have compression that expands, because one side is going to win at some point. And I believe it's going to be for the bulls. There is no reason to be bearish on an asset that looks like this, where it has done nothing but go up since March of 2020. No reason to be bearish. Okay, back to the hourly. Still bullish right now. Got no reason to believe otherwise. Okay, let's go ahead and start taking a look at some charts. So different stocks, different cryptos. There's a lot that I've been asked to go over. So I'm going to go through as many of these as I can. If the chart looks good, I'm going to try and chart it out a little bit, try and throw some Elliott wave on it. If the chart looks like garbage, I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your time. Okay, so let's start up here at the top. I'm going to start with AI. All right, so AI, have never looked at this before. And let's go to, we're going to start with these looking at the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, you see, now here's the deal. There's hardly any history here. And it looks like it wants to come back down here and retest this. And we've got a dominant pivot high, we've got a dominant pivot low, and we get this pullback. I would say it's actually probably almost done. I would say it's probably going to make its way down here to about $96. It's currently below $100, and it's a good psychological number. It opened, actually it closed its first day of trading below $100. Then it bounced up, basically above it. I would say it's probably going to be a decent amount of support here. Would I buy it here? I mean, let's just take a look and see what our risk management strategy would be for something like this. Your stop loss would probably be on a low, on a hunt down here. I mean, it could very well hunt down here. I'm not sure that I would buy right now. I would honestly probably wait till it comes down here to at least 96. And from there, I would probably see about taking a bite and going from there. Just take a look at the indicator, and I've got this on here for you guys. It looks like it wants to curl up. It looks like it's probably getting close to being finished correcting. So yeah, I think all in all, this looks good. Problem with charting something like this is there's just not enough history here to really, have anything that works. You can see right here where we've got a little bit of a channel overthrow and a rejection, and the same thing right here. So you've got that rising wedge, right? So this is bearish, and it followed through in a great way. Now it's coming back down. If it breaks down below this, I wouldn't touch it for a while because, from $91, this thing could go down significantly. So I would say just be careful and cut your losses if you need to. Don't become a bag holder. IVZ. I don't know what IVZ is. So let's just take a look at this guy. Yeah, I mean, this would be a chart where I would be looking to take profit. If I was in this, I would be looking to close out some of that position. Let me go to a 4-hour time frame. This has done pretty well. Actually, this is pretty clear. This right here, this is very, very corrective. This is very corrective. I like that. I like that. So let's just take a look here. So we've got a nice 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I would say this is probably the 3. We're probably going to come back down here to about 19 before it moves up higher. Let's just measure this and see if this makes sense. Trend-based fib extension, start at the bottom, work our way to the top. We get that pullback. Yeah, we actually haven't finished wave 3 yet, I don't believe. So I would say like you should be shaving off of your position. Although I do think it'll probably go to $26 to $27. But I do believe it's going to get that pullback before it moves up higher. And my target for this would be closer to 50 bucks. So about 2x from where we're at right now is your upside target. But you could pull a significant amount more if you got the pullback on this. So this does indicate that we're getting close to finishing this. You know, from here, from this bottom, you see a nice one, a little bit of a correction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be my best guess on what's going to happen here in the future. I would say watch to see what happens when you get up above $26. I would probably be closing out of that position completely. It could be pulling back. It looks like it wants to, at least a little bit. At least a little bit. We'll have to wait and see what it does, because really this could be wave 4 right here. So we've got this 1, 2, 3, a little bit of a correction here, 4, and then we go up for the 5. But if I was going to buy, I would wait for it to pull back down here to about $20 or to pull back a little bit more, again, looking left. Okay, we talk about looking left a lot. And from here, what do we have? We've got this level right here. If we come back down here, I would be a buyer. And that's going to be between 19 and 20 bucks. If we get down there, that would be a good place to buy. To grab that wave 4, which that would take us all the way up there to that $50 target, the $50 upside target. So really looks pretty good. The chart looks constructive. I love this correction right here. It's obviously completed. This correction here, found some support there at $10. It's pretty obvious, found some support at 10. And then it had a nice impulsive move up. This is a great move up. This is what you would expect in a wave 3. This is really a picture perfect wave 3 here. So I would say there probably is some more upside potential for IVZ. I'm just not sure that I would be buying it right now. You know, we talk about this on the server as well. There's opportunities to buy. This doesn't look like it. Like, yeah, we had a little bit of a sell-off there at the end of the day today, but I don't know that I'd buy here. I'd be taking profit here if it was me. That's just my opinion. If I'm in something that looks like this, and I think we're getting close to the end, especially of a wave 3, you know, there's no reason to give your profits back to the market. You may have some opportunity cost if it continues going up, but you're saving yourself from potential losses. So, or at least losing some of that profit that you had. All right, let's take a look at AFRM, Firm Holdings. Again, this is another one I don't think I've looked at before. And yeah, actually this, I hate to say it, but this actually looks really good. There's not a whole lot of history here, but this is one thing that I could say. AFRM is basing. It's basing big time above $91. If you can buy between 91 and 91.75, somewhere in that area down here, right? This is so important. It's an easy trade, which means it's probably not going to work out. But this is basing so well down here. If it can get back up above 97, I would say that it's going to make a significant move to the upside. Your first target for the upside, you know, we don't know what it's going to look like just quite yet. I would take a move to at least $121. Shoot, let's just take a look at this risk assessment. Even if we bought right now, our target to the upside, we're going to be targeting that at 620. That's going to be a 32% trade. What's our risk? Well, here's the deal. You could put your stop loss right there at about $90. But it's possible that this guy dips down one last time to catch those stops before it moves to the upside. Shoot, I saw it on JKS last week. I don't want to talk about it. I got stopped out and then it ripped. But anyway, I would give yourself a little bit more. I would give yourself 3.5 to 4%. Take that down to like $88, which means you could probably buy it for a little bit less. But you know, maybe you won't. So you have to figure that out on your own. But that's kind of what I'm looking at for this guy. Can it go higher than that? Oh, it absolutely can. Absolutely can. Right now, what this looks like, it kind of looks like a reverse parabola to me. Let's just put this right here. Start right there. We work our way this way. And this is what I'm kind of looking at right there. It's sloping and now it's basing. It's finding that support there. And if it can push up and out of there, it's going to be a big, big move. It's going to be a big move. So, you know, taking that profit at a 32%, that's significant if you can get it. That's significant. I may actually take this trade. I like this one. All right, I'm going to take a look at ASTI now. ASTI, Ascent Solar Technologies. This is an OTC stock. We've been watching this on the Discord. It's been crazy, crazy. Where is it going to go? I know a lot of these guys bought it all the way back here, which is crazy because this has gone up like a significant amount, 50,000% since October. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's just take a look at this and see where we have come and to see where we could be going. When I'm talking about basing, I mean, we're on a daily chart. Look at this basing right here. It is just basing right there at basically 0.0001 cent. It was basing there for, gosh, about 9 months, 10 months, long time. That started basing there all the way back in September of 2019. It didn't move up until October 2020. So a whole year, this thing was basing right down there. A lot of people give it up hope. And then what do we see? Okay, let's just look at this because I just mentioned this. Let's see if you guys figure this out. Push up, push down, push down, push down. Get those stops because you see this basing here and your instinct is to put your stop loss right there. What ended up happening? You got stopped. Oh, it was basing some more. Let's take this trade again. Put my stop loss right there. You got stopped. Do it again. You got stopped. This happens all the time. And then what happened? It launched. It launched. All right. So again, our ultimate high up here is obviously not where this stock is ever going to go ever again because we had some reverse splits that caused this to go down. So this stock is never going to see $5.3 million per share ever again. But taking a look at this 382 is at $1.30. I could see that. I could potentially see it at $24, but even from where it's at right now, that's a real stretch. That's a real stretch. Take this off of log scale, and what do you get? I mean, it looks just sad. It looks sad. I would put this on a log scale, and I would be targeting that 382, which is going to be at $1.30. That alone, if it can where we're at right now, there's not a whole lot here for me to really do an analysis on because all this is doing is just kind of, you know, moving up. And I'm not really seeing good waves here to count because it's just like up and sideways, up, correct, up, correct, up, correct, up, correct, up, correct. There's not really a nice A, B, C. I'm not seeing an A, B, C. I'm just seeing like a little pullback, a little pullback. And these are on daily time frames and it's just not showing signs of weakness. But there's one thing that I can say, and I talk about this occasionally. What we're seeing here is a high and then reclaim that as support. Then we have a high here. We didn't even claim that as support. Then we had, I mean, it's just like over and over and over. We had this high here, and then that was support. We had this high here. We kind of claimed that as support. It's weaker though, okay? Take note of that. This high claimed as support. This high didn't even get there. This high didn't get there. This high, we dipped down for a couple days. That's a sign of weakness. And one thing that we're not getting a new high. So this is what I will say about that. This level has to be broken. What I want to see for this is to see a nice reclaim of support and then get above it to see higher prices. If we don't get that, what we're going to end up seeing is this. Where would I get out? Right here. I wouldn't necessarily sell right now, especially if you got in all the way down here. Once you see a clean break of support and a follow through, that's when I would exit. But for right now, I mean, this very well could just dip down here, go up, claim this as support, and then there we go. We go up and away. So I'd be looking for this guy potentially to go up to, like I said, about $1.30. And we'll kind of take it from there. All right, let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. We've got a lot to talk about still. Workhorse. Man, Workhorse had a terrible day last week. We hit our level of bullish invalidation, and it just fell through the floor because we were watching this guy. We were looking at it, and it looked really good. And right now, it still looks pretty good. It still looks pretty good. Again, as you can see, we've been watching this guy for a while now. So from the bottom, a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this has to be the 5 right there. That has to be the 5 because the way that this fell out, it didn't work. It didn't work. So I'm actually not even really sure that that's going to be a 1, 2, 3. This could just be a corrective pattern and could potentially go lower. But this level right here has to hold. That 4 potentially has to hold. This level right here at 5.25, 528. That's our level that we really have to hold. So for right now, as high as we went, that's off of this move up here to this pullback. We only got to this 123.6. Doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. This looks like this could be a 5 waves. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This works out. Let me just remove this because obviously our bullish hypothesis has been invalidated. If we fall below this low from the other day, I would say it's probably going to go a little bit lower. It got all the way down as low as 12. Let's just see where we got down to. 1250. That's where the bottom was. And I remember when it was 1250, there were a lot of people that were on our server and they were talking about it and they were kind of worried about it. But yes, we're never going to see $5.3 million per share on ASCI. Sorry. All right. Anyway, so I would say Workhorse, it's got some upside potential. Potentially, it could still get up to $80. That's still a target that I'm willing to say that we could be getting to. But right now, it has to overtake a lot of different levels of resistance. Most notably, it's got to get through 2650, basically. Between 23 and 2650, that's what it has to get through in order to see a bullish continuation to the upside to hit that target of $80. Is there a good trade here? I mean, there was on the day that it was crashing, because right now, if you took that trade, you'd be looking at a 21% loss. That is way too much for me to risk. 1, I don't want to become a bag holder. 2, I don't want to risk 20% on a trade. That's just a lot for me. I don't have that kind of I don't have that kind of stomach for that much risk on an equity trade. Like, yeah, I'll risk that on a small option trade, but not on an equity trade. That's too much to lose on a trade. So therefore, I'm not interested. And if I go to an hourly time frame, it looks good. It looks good, but your stop loss is so far down there at $12.50. I'm just not willing to take that trade. All right, let's keep on going. AMD. I haven't taken a look at AMD for a while. I'm wondering if some of my old charts are still here. Oh, hey, look at that. We had the dip down to the golden zone and then moving up. And so far, I haven't looked at this in a while. So let's just see what I was going through and what was going through my mind. So this still looks okay. This very, very interesting. So this too obviously is right here. I think this is still a good analysis. Let me go to a daily. I think this is going to work out pretty well. All right, so we've been watching this, as you can see, for a while. We actually did a little bit of education using this chart alone, and we've got some support right there on this trend line, part of this pitchfork. And this is a pitchfork that we've got going over here from this 1, 2, wave 1, 2. And then again, we've got this 1, 2. So we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're working on that 5. So this is where I was thinking that AMD was going to end up going. I thought AMD was going to make its way up to about 150, 160, somewhere in this red box. This is where I'm looking for AMD to go. But as the time goes by, these guys are going to move, and more than likely, our targets are actually going to be moving up a little bit higher. Okay, so just have to kind of wait and see. Is this a good trade to take today? I mean, still, yet again, let's just take a look and see what's our risk profile. What's our stop loss? 6%, it's a heck of a lot better. 5.69% is a heck of a lot better than 20, a heck of a lot better. And again, what's our upside potential? We were looking at, what did I say, 30%? This is a potential 76% gain on AMD on a trade like this. Now, with any trade, and I'm not telling you what to do. This is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research. This is a 5.69% risk for a 76% gain. It's 13.4 to 1 risk to reward ratio. That's not bad. That is not bad, my friends. You could probably, more than likely, get a better entry than $84.13. Probably can get a better entry than that. But this still looks pretty good. You got to keep that stop loss on this wick down here. I say that because it's a wick, right? We opened, we wicked down, and we got absorbed, okay? And we had follow through in the next day. Yeah, we had a pullback, but we have, again, some more moves up. And this looks good. This looks good. Let's just take a look on Fibonacci here. Take it from the bottom to the top. Where did we pull back to? I mean, that 618, we went pretty deep. But this is still support at that 618, in my opinion. I would say this looks okay. You got to move down to 82, take it. Stop loss at 79 bucks. If you can get a move down here to 82, I would absolutely take it. Let's just take a look at this here. Move this. Let me see if I can do this here. And moving that guy out. Let's move him down. It's not going to let me do it, is it? No, it's because I put it right onto, there we go. You got to move down here to 82. Take that trade, that's a 3.33% risk. Now we're talking 24 to 1 reward. That is now an 80% trade by getting an extra $2. That looks pretty darn good, if you ask me. It looks pretty good. All right, let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. All right, so now let's take a look at Fisker. My upside target for Fisker was $30, and we hit $30 today. So, my opinion, trade closed. Walk away from Fisker. Don't trade Fisker anymore. We're done. That is my opinion on Fisker. I think this is done for now. Had a good absorption candle here. It flew right into supply. So now we need to find another area for demand. We were talking about basing, right? We were talking about basing on, don't remember the asset now, but we were talking about basing this base here at this 50% for a long time. So in December, January, and part of February, this was basing right there at $14 to $15. This is the basing that I'm looking for. Then all of a sudden, the explosion happened to the upside. That's what we were looking for. I said target 30 bucks. We hit that target, we're done. We're walking away. That's my opinion on Fisker. You might not like it, but I wouldn't buy here. I wouldn't buy up here. It could keep going, sure. But what's your trade setup? Where are you wrong if you take a trade like this? So that's just my opinion on that. Don't chase green. Just because this thing has had an explosive couple days, you missed out. You missed out. So I'm just saying, be careful. Be careful trying to buy something that has gone so explosive over the last few days. UWM Holdings. This is also some, oh, here we go again. So this guy, big green. I mean, it was a 19% day. That's pretty bullish, but what's your, and actually in after hours, it's up to 10.15 now. I mean, look at this. So we closed right here 2 days ago, and it's up 33%. I mean, I wouldn't buy it. Let's start here from the top, work our way down here to the bottom. I mean, it's sitting right at the 50 right now. Yes, it based, you know, another case for basing, It was basing here, had to push down, get those stops, based again, and then it exploded up, right? So never underestimate an asset that bases for a long time. It happened to Doge. Y'all know Doge. Let's take a look at that because I want to point that out to you because we bought that between 15 and 17 sats back in like October, November of last year. And we know what Doge has been doing. We got into that before it was a meme. Well, it's always been a meme, but I'm talking for 2021. But anyway, yeah, I would avoid this. I would avoid it. If you're in it, move up your stops. I'm not saying to close out your position, move up your stops. Because yeah, I mean, the daily is looking pretty good down here on our indicator. The daily looks pretty darn good. It looks like it wants to keep going up. The 3 hour looks like it's good. It looks like it wants to keep going up. Let me go to the hourly here just so we can see this. I mean, it looks constructive. It looks like we did have a little bit of a bottom down here and it had a nice move up, and in after hours is moving up some more, but it's sitting at resistance right now. I would not buy this today. Right now, I wouldn't buy this, but I tell you, the chart looks pretty good for continued upside. So I'm not saying close out your position. I'm saying, like, you know, put your stop loss at like $8, maybe $9, and kind of go from there. All right, let's keep on going. Butterfly Network. I believe this one is new. There's probably not a whole lot of, there's not a whole lot of history. I can't do an analysis on this chart. There's just nothing here. There's really nothing here. Nothing to say. There's nothing that anybody can say about this chart that is going to, you know, make you feel good about it. I can't look at this other than, and I know I just said that I wouldn't do this, but the only thing that I can see here that is even worth mentioning is the fact this looks like a little bit of a falling wedge. But this is not a chart that you can analyze. There's nothing here to say. I don't get into fundamentals. I trade price action only, and there's not enough price action here for me to do an analysis on. All right, CSIQ, Canadian Solar. All right, this guy looks like it just finished a corrective structure. This doesn't look impulsive. This looks corrective right here from this bottom. It looks like an A, B, C. That looks like an A, B, C right there. So it looks like it probably wants to go down further. Let's just take a look at this. Ooh. Okay, so from the top to the bottom, we hit that 382, got a little bit of a rejection there. This looks bad. There, we get that pullback, and what did we do? We hit this 1.6. Yeah, what this looks like to me from up here, this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going down for that 5. Probably going to go down to $35.60. So what would that be? I mean, there's good support right there. Good support right there. You can see it here. You can see it here. Prior resistance. You can see it right here. Yeah, I would say this guy's probably going to make its way down to $35. So I wouldn't be interested in buying this right now. I would hold off because this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's definitely impulsive. And we're talking about, you know, we're seeing a 5-wave structure moving down. Because it got down here to the 1618, 175, and actually went a little bit further, I believe we're going to make our way down here to the -382 extension, which is also the 2618, which is going to be right down here at about $35, $36. So when 35.50 rolls around, then we can talk. But for right now, I would say to just kind of hold off on this guy. If you're not already in it, if you're already in from like $43, $44, Move up your stops to at least break even so you're not going to lose out too much. All right, XL. We're on the 4 hour. This trade did not work out. We moved all the way down here to the 786. It's actually been doing pretty good here in after hours. So with this, let me go to an hourly here for a moment. Yes, so this looks okay. You know, this is a good case where we would be based here, and then we rolled and we fell. So this is why stop losses are very, very important. So for this guy, moving up here to the top, we're going to take our pullback. All right, so if XL is going to take off, you know, our upside target for this guy, you know, first you would watch for this move up here to like $46, $47. But you'd be basically looking at a $100 price target for XL. $100 price target, right now we're sitting at 1683. But again, here's the bigger problem. The bigger problem here is your stop loss, right? So we talk about this all the time. What's your risk? What's your risk? Well, you're talking from this pivot right here alone is 3.5%, but your level of invalidation is all the way down here. Are you really willing to risk 16% on a trade? I mean, yes, of course, we're taking a look at this guy potentially going all the way up to $100. So your price target is $100. What's your risk to reward? 32 to 1. That's pretty good. If you were to want to do this, I would layer bids and let whatever fills fill, and then let that go. Whatever you get filled, fill. So I would place bids like every dollar on all the way down here to $14. So 14, 15, maybe 15.50, maybe 14.50. Set a few layered bids to just kind of let your position fill, and then again let it go. What that's going to allow you, it's going to afford you a better entry average. Place smaller bids on top, place bigger bids on the bottom, because that's going to pull down your average even more. Scale yourself into this position, because again, this could go to $100, but the trade is all based on the fact that this pivot low here has to hold. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. CWEN, Clearway Energy. This looks okay. This looks all right. I would wait for a little bit more of a pullback. So I would say a move down here to 28 to 28.25. It's probably where this guy is going to go. Then you're going to have some significant upside. Let me move to a 4-hour time frame and just kind of take a look and see where we've come from and where we could be going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the pullback. Let's get this guy down here, all the way up there to the top right there. You know, yeah, I mean, I'd say this chart actually does look pretty good. So yes, CWEN, if you're already in it, again, I'm not recommending really anything on this video. It's more or less just taking a look and see where things are going. I would say this guy is probably going to pull back again to about 28 to 28.25, and that would be a nice pullback for continuation to the upside. I would say upside is pretty good on this guy based on what I see here. I'd be looking for a move up to, you know, $45 to $50. Somewhere up here is more than likely where this guy is going to go. And again, your risk to reward. So you're talking, you know, 4.35% risk. That's not terrible. And your reward is going to be 60%, 13.62 to 1. That's not bad. That's not bad. So you can manage your risk pretty well there. Again, you can probably get a little better entry, which means that you're going to get a little better risk to reward ratio. That's going to be good. All right, let's take a look at Csiq. This is for our friend Galactable on the server. So Csiq versus Tether on the 4-hour. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit here. Been doing pretty well, as most other alts have been doing. Okay, we've got a nice bottom down here. And let's see, trend-based pivot extension. We're going to start down here at the bottom. Work our way right up here to this dominant pivot high right there, and we get the pullback. Let's see what we've got. Okay, let's see here. So from here, we've got a nice A, B, C. All right, and then from the bottom, a nice 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think this move is done. So now we correct the whole move. Once 5 waves are complete, then we correct the whole thing. Do I think Csiq is actually going to correct all the way back down here to 382? It may not. Let's put the 236 on there. So it could be, yeah, actually, I do think that Csiq is probably going to make its way down to about 0.007 to 0.008. Somewhere down here, this is where I'd be interested in buying. More than likely, what this guy is going to do from here is make its way up to, maybe that high, and then move its way down, and then we can see that continuation. So there's going to be some chop here. I think ultimately, getting between 0.007 and 0.008 probably would be pretty good. Just taking a look at the indicator, right? The waves indicator. This had a buyback here, which has already played out, it looks like. We had a buy here, that played out. Buy here, I think this played out. The 12-hour looks pretty good. It's curling, which is why I think that we could be seeing this upward movement. But if Bitcoin's going to go through, this chop, after we do hit that high, I would totally see this guy pulling back a little bit more. Bitcoin pulls a little, alts are going to pull a lot. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look at Riot. Riot blockchain. Okay, this one has been doing okay. We actually had a buy on that, I think it was yesterday. Looks very similar to Bitcoin, as we would expect. I'm not going to make the count exactly like Bitcoin, but I would be very tempted to because it has been following. So nice 1, 2, we'll just put the 3 up here for now. We might move that around. But then off of this, again, a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to measure all of these. I'm just eyeballing these right now, and then I'm going to measure them for you. See if we can make some sense of this. All right, so let's measure wave 2 to wave 3, at least our projected wave 3, and there, that moved down to about 33.50. This could happen again, just like we were talking for Bitcoin, because this has been moving very similar to it, this, and then down. This gets us all the way down here to the end of March, the beginning of April. We talk about this, then we go up for that wave 5. Which has an upside target of about $186. That's a pretty significant move to the upside. If you can grab that right down here, take that guy all the way up to $186, well, there is 457%. That's assuming that works. What's going to be your stop loss in something like that? Well, I would prefer to wait for it to curl or a base and then let it go. But that would be a significant move to the upside if Bitcoin decides that it wants to do that. You don't think it can go up 457% from here? Well, what did it do from here to the high? That was 3,255% right there from October through February. Don't tell me it can't happen, because it can. So, yeah, I would still wait for it to pull back. There's significant upside potential, but there's also significant downside potential. The best place for you to place that trade is going to be at that 236, which is going to be at $33.50. So that's where I would take that trade. All right, let's take a look at PL, TM, Platinum. All right. Let me see if I can find something better. I'm just going to chart the Platinum CFD here. And I'm going to go to a daily. Let's see here. So this has data that goes back. I'm going to go to weekly on Platinum. Here we go. This is more like it. All right. So on this is pretty clear here. This is a corrective move. We've got this A, B, C. This looks done. Let's measure this here. All the way down here at the bottom, 1998, 1999, all the way up to the top. We didn't quite get down here to the 786, but that 618 was strong, strong support. We cut down and we bounced right up and out of it. So right now, platinum is sitting at $1,202. And I would say that it has the potential to go up 3x from where it's at right now, just based on this. So from here, I'm going to count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll call that the 5 right there, which means we've got this big 1 and we've got a steep 2. And we'll take our trend-based fib extension from the bottom to the top. We get that pullback. What's our upside target? Well, I mean, you've got the 100% sitting there, 38.78. The negative 236 extension of this fib pull sitting there, 36.32. You've got the 1236 all the way up here at $6,000. I don't know that platinum's going to be that valuable. And metals, they take a long time to move. I'm looking at a weekly chart here. You can see it took weeks, I mean, years, from all the way up here in 2011 to 2020. That was 9 years that it took for this guy to correct. So it's not going to be straight up, but I think that there is some significant upside potential in most precious metals in general. So that's what I would say on platinum. All right, let's see here. All right, I think that's it. And now I can't see the YouTube video. Let me see if I can get in here and see if there's anybody that is wanting me to take a look at something else. Let's see here. Oh, hey, look, there's a whole bunch of chatter going on here. Add Apple to the list. I can take a look at Apple. I can take a look at Tesla. Yes, I can do all of that. All right, so let's take a look at this. All right, so let's take a look at Apple. I like Apple here, just by the way. I do like Apple here. I'm going to take a look again. I'm going to take a look at the hourly. We've been watching this. So let's remove this trade that didn't work out. But I still believe that we've got a nice potential for some serious upside. All right, so let me just fix this guy a nice from there. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, which is what I believe that we're actually in the middle of right now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a pullback. So we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2. This is not a 3. This is not a 1, 2, 3. This is a 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's just take a real quick look here at this pullback. From down here at the bottom, we're coming up here to the top. What did we get? The 618. Perfect. Perfect. All right, let's move down there to the 618. I didn't catch it at the time. I'm just catching this right now. This looks like a fantastic opportunity for some upside. I mean, is it a good buy today? No. The best buy was down here at about 120 bucks. It is what it is. What was that, yesterday or the day before? It went all the way down to right below 120 and it sprung out, and it looks pretty good. I would wait for a little bit of a deeper pullback to get in, but I would say this looks pretty good. Josh, I see your comment. Any videos that are helpful for beginners? I actually have a playlist. If you're still watching, I have a playlist inside of my YouTube channel. If you go there, you can see I've got a whole series on education, and also on our Discord. Throw a comment in the YouTube chat if you need an invite to our Discord. Part of our membership package, we have lots of educational materials. We have a classroom where we go through different setups and different things, all the time. We've got some good people in there as well. We're always learning, but yeah, so this chart looks really good to me. This chart looks really good. I would say this guy is going to make its way to 150. I've been talking about 150 for a while, so I'm excuse me, I'm watching for it. It's going to hit. It's probably going to go higher. It's probably going to go a lot higher. But I would target, based on this price point right here, 125, I'd be looking for 150. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla has been disappointing. EVs in general have been really, really disappointing. So let me just remove this all the way down here below $686. It's down here to $688.70 right now. That's concerning because we've talked about this. We took this trade right here at 409, right? So this compression, right? So if you're on our server, you know that compression is usually indicative of a wave 4, okay? Wave 4, what comes after wave 4 is a wave 5. So if we had 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's very possible Tesla is done for now. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E, 4, 5. I think it's possible Tesla is done for now and could be entering another prolonged phase of correction. Look at what Tesla did here. Went sideways. For how long? It started here in 2017 and it was all the way here in 2019. You could say that it was basing and then it fell and then it exploded, okay? This is normal market movement. Move sideways in a range, it goes in one direction and then it goes in the opposite in a bigger way. This happens all the time. Catch all those stops, make people hopeless, and then it moves up. Right now, people are greedy. I think Tesla is probably going to chop a little bit up here. I think it may be going into a larger wave 4. I think it's going to take time. I think it's going to take time. You're short in Tesla. Fantastic. I hope you have been for a few days, and this isn't a new short that you're in. All right. I don't see any other comments in the YouTube chat. I don't see any other suggestions on our Discord to take a look at. Let me just double check one last time, and then we're going to go ahead and end our video for today. All right, I think we're done. I'm going to stop the share, and I'm going to stop the video. If this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you need access to our Discord, just throw a comment in the YouTube chat. I think there is a link inside of the video description, and wherever you're in the world. I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.